Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and CosmicPotatoNetwork.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man.
That's a big one.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a bully!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
You see these flying? We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow.
And welcome to World War G episode 282. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
Okay. Let's jump right into it here. So, kind of some sad news.
2020 strikes again.
Coming out of Hollywood. What's going on over here? Oh, my computer's freaking out. It's fine. Anyway.
2020.
So you say 2020, my computer starts to freak out. Yeah, see, did it again. That was weird.
You said it again?
And
it happened again.
Look, virus and threat protection. See? 2020. Oh, didn't work that time. Anyway, so just, was it just a couple days ago, right? Was it Friday? Was it Saturday? Oh, I don't know. Wherever. Either way, Black Panther star and the star of several other films, Chadwick Boseman, passed away at the age of 43 from colon cancer.
Yeah.
And from what I've read from some of the tweets from, like, you know, his co-stars and directors and stuff, nobody knew he had it.
No. He kept that on
crazy.
the DL.
Yeah. Like, you would think at least maybe his co-stars would know.
Right.
You know, that might be something you might want to talk to maybe a director or something about. Like, hey.
Especially if you're doing all these, like, stunts.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, by the way, I may miss a day or two because.
Yeah.
You know, chemotherapy or whatever. Which apparently he did. He had that. He had surgeries all while he was, you know, portraying Black Panther, and
which it also seemed like he was kind of on the rise, like because he did do that one 21 Bridges as well,
yeah,
and he'd done a couple other movies, you know. I guess he had, like, from what I've read, he had finished all of his scenes in the new Black Panther movie.
Oh, good.
Which will be kind of like interesting because it'll be kind of a Carrie Fisher-esque feel to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, watching it knowing that he's, while he was filming, it's like, oh, he's dying, essentially.
Yeah.
Then thinking, oh, then he's also dead now, and it's like, it'll be a little depressing.
Most definitely.
A little depressing.
And 43, dude, that's not that old.
Yeah.
That's, wow. Well, our, you know, thoughts definitely go out to him and his family. And to, like, the whole world, because he was, I mean, like, I watched a couple of interviews with him, and he was talking about, like, you know, like, these Asian kids, white kids, like, Hispanic kids, like, black kids, everybody wanted to be Black Panther. And he said it was, like, such a, like, an interesting thing to, like, you know, have, like, all these different kids kind of united in a superhero.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. That's why people are so devastated by his death. You know, for us as little white kids, you know, we could go to a superhero film and look up and see Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, you know, and see us and superheroes, but you never thought of, you know, the little Asian kid or the black kid that's going to a theater and they're not seeing themselves represented. Right. As superheroes. But then, you know, you finally get something like Black Panther, and not only can they see themselves reflected in this hero, but he's a king.
Yeah.
You know, he's the ruler of this nation. He's one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest superhero in Marvel.
Right.
He's incredibly
Thanks
powerful.
To that technology, right?
Yeah. He's, you know, and I think that was a very important portrayal of a strong, you know, black superhero.
Right.
And yeah, his cultural relevance and impact was huge.
Oh, absolutely. And like, I mean, this comes on the heels of the passing of Kobe Bryant, who was 41.
Yeah.
You know, which was another like legend in his own right.
Yeah. And you know, this year we're dealing with all this racial tension and stuff, and it was, yeah, it was a tough blow.
Yes, a timely loss.
Yeah, especially for our GOCs, our geeks of color. Yeah. Yeah, he'll definitely be missed.
Yes.
I've heard that a lot of people don't want him recast. Don't want Black Panther recast.
Really?
Yeah. I think they probably will. I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Marvel, Disney, you know, their businesses, they have to move on. You know, they have to continue. Yeah, they have to continue to make money. So I bet they recast him.
That'll be interesting to see who actually steps up.
Yeah. I think this guy who's in Tenet, I think his name's Isaiah something.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be
a decent fit. Decent
replacement.
Okay.
I'm trying to see the cast here. I can't remember. I'll look it up later.
Well, you've already got like Michael B. Jordan in the film. Otherwise, I would say like, you know, he'd be a pretty decent replacement.
Yes.
Perhaps they could go maybe. Well, okay. Did he die in Black Panther?
He did. Yes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking like, is there any way that they could revive his character?
I don't think so. I think he was pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good and dead. Oh, Killmonger.
Do they go a different direction because like how they set up how Black Panther's abilities were transferred? Do they go with a woman Black Panther?
Could do that.
Right.
Maybe go with his sister. Maybe go with his female counterpart. I can't remember her name. It's been a while since I've seen the film.
Yeah.
Shoot, I can't remember her name. But yeah, you could go that direction. There's a lot of ways you could go, but this is just me, but I'm guessing they recast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd already done that for like Iron Man, you know, and for a couple other characters that they've had to do some recasting. The Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk.
So it has been done before.
It wouldn't be wouldn't it be funny if they cast Terrence Howard as Black Panther?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Like, I'm back! Yay!
This is the way that he gets back into the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that he's
Guess who's black? I mean, back. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Guess who's Black Panther?
I don't think he's coming back. I think he kind of burned that bridge.
Yeah.
Anyway. We also have a list.
Yes.
Everybody loves a list.
Everybody does.
And this is... I found this website called Collider. I've heard of it before, but I've never really used it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they got a lot of good stuff on Collider. Anyway, a few of my stories come from Collider. But this is 8... let's see. No, every Disney movie based on a theme park attraction ranked. And apparently there's been 8 of them. So from least to first, from less to best.
All right.
Less to best? Okay. Lest to best? Is lest a word? That's not a word. Anyway, number 8. The Country Bears from 2002. Did you ever see The Country Bears?
I did. Yeah. It was a train wreck. It really was. Yeah.
Yeah, don't bother. Number 7. Sorry, it keeps wanting to page down here. Number 7, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride from 1996. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Really?
Yeah. It's live action?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the cartoon.
And it looks like a guy that has like green face paint on it. It's weird.
That is odd.
It looks really weird. Number 6, The Haunted Mansion from 2003
with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was a train wreck.
That was ill-advised.
Yes.
But
Eddie Murphy was like hot at the moment.
He was.
You know? It's like, hey, well, I bet this will work. Well, which is weird to me because Pirates of the Caribbean came out in the same year.
Yeah.
Right? And that one took off.
And they were trying to parlay that success, pun intended, that success into Haunted Mansion, and it flopped.
Yeah.
Which is funny because of all the rides in Disneyland, Haunted Mansion
would be the easiest.
Yeah.
Right?
Like it has a built-in story there.
It does.
Yeah. Like it has, it
lends itself well to a movie.
Mm-hmm. Like there's the bride in there. Like there's a whole story, but
Pirates, they had to come up with their own idea.
Yeah.
Right? There's not much to go off of.
Yeah, Pirates, they basically had to say, okay, let's think about the ride. All right, how can we weave these scenes into a film?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, number 5, Tower of Terror from 1997. This was on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
If you remember. Yeah, it starred Steve Guttenberg, Kirsten Dunst.
I remember it, but I never saw it.
I watched it a few times. I always liked the Disney Channel Halloween films.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't always great, but some of them were okay.
Halloween Town.
Yep, Halloween Town, classic. Yeah, basically, Tower of Terror, it was kind of a twist on Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
These guests,
yeah,
they go in, but they never, But then, because they had it originally where those guests that you saw that disappeared, that then they were in the seats with you. So
right.
When they took the photo at the very tail end, you were sitting next to these ghosts. Yeah.
Was that wasn't on the ride, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because I remember, because they had right before you dropped, they had that part where you're looking down the hall, where you kind of waved goodbye to reality and everything got all distorted.
Yeah.
And then they had the ghosts, quote unquote, wave back at you, and then you dropped.
Right.
And then when you went up for a second, took the picture.
They open it up so you can see all of Disneyland. Yeah.
But I have 2 pictures of Tower of Terror and there are no ghosts there.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure you saw them sitting there chilling with you in some of the seats. Like they took up the place of other people.
I mean, they might have. I know they do that in the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
When you're going by those mirrors.
I could... But still, yeah.
Anyway.
It was a Disney movie, for sure.
Yeah. Number 4. Dinosaur. And you say, but Dinosaur wasn't based on a ride? Yes, it was. It was based on Countdown to Extinction, which opened at Disney's Animal Kingdom, along with the rest of the park in 1998.
Okay.
And Dinosaur came out in 2000. So, I never saw Dinosaur.
I think I did once.
It was kind of a big, because it was CG and like vast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one I missed. Number 3. Mission to Mars from 2000. Did you ever see this one?
No.
Me neither. I don't even know if it was in theaters or if it was Disney Channel thing. I don't know. But apparently it was one of the better ones. Number 2. Tomorrowland. A fairly underrated film.
Yeah,
from 2015.
It flew under the radar. Like it was in theaters for a minute, but then disappeared pretty quickly.
It's not bad. It actually had a pretty decent, kind of a cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
And it had George Clooney and Hugh Laurie, and it was kind of a cool film. I liked it. Basically saying that Tomorrowland was kind of this. It was kind of in this other dimension that you could only reach when you know, like when she touched the pin.
Right.
Which was a cool in the trailer. That was a really cool shot. She looked, as soon as she touched it, like the world changed, and then she took her finger off and it went back to normal. I thought that was kind of cool. And then number 1, take a guess.
Pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Of course, I mean the movie made billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And became a cultural phenomenon and
definitely helped out Jack what's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp's career.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, it did kind of revitalize.
Made him a household name.
Yeah.
That was his Iron Man moment.
It was. Because Johnny Depp, he always was the guy that kind of stayed away from big franchises.
Right.
You know, he did like the Tim Burton films and...
Blow.
Chocolat.
Yeah. What was... Oh, Public Enemies? That was a great gangster movie. That
came out post-Pirates.
Did it?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could pretty much do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, he was kind of riding the blockbuster wave at that time.
On the Black Pearl?
On the Black Pearl. Yeah. Yeah, but... I don't know. I think Pirates kind of overstayed its welcome.
Are there any other rides at Disneyland that you'd like to see adapted into a movie?
We're just going to move past my comment. That's fine.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
I was just saying the Pirates, I think, overstayed its welcome. Those movies.
I liked the fourth one. I thought the fourth one was better than the third one.
Yes.
So it kind of helped to bring it back in.
The one with Blackbeard.
Yes.
I thought was actually decent. I enjoyed it.
With the mermaid, you know.
But I think a lot of that had to do with the actor who was playing Blackbeard. What the heck is his name? I always want to say Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but it's not him. He's one of those actors that has 3 names that he uses.
The thing about that one is it honestly felt like the first movie came out, then the second movie, it was decent, but they were kind of, you know, off course.
No.
Then the third one was completely off the rails, and then with the fourth one, it really felt like the first one all over again.
Right.
But Johnny Depp wasn't, the main star of it.
Yeah, it was Ian McShane.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought he went by 3 names, but yeah, Ian McShane.
That Mick threw you off.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, but he was really good as Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Aren't they trying to make a 5th one, but not have Robert Downey?
6th one, dude.
A 6th one.
6th one.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I forgot that there was a 5th one, didn't you?
There?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Man, they're like the Fast and the Furious one,
I know. Fast and the piratey.
The slow and the...
The slow and the barnacled.
Yes. I don't know.
Sure, why not? Yeah, the 6th one was with Orlando Bloom's Will Turner's son trying to remove the curse from his father.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Garbage.
Yeah, it had him and it had the woman who knew science and people thought she was a witch, and it had...
I don't think I saw this movie.
You didn't miss much.
Okay.
It was pretty terrible. It had there was a ghost crew. That was the bad guys. They went from a skeleton crew to now there's this ghost crew. It was...
Next they'll have the night crew.
Yeah. Convoluted AF. Let me just say that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. But to answer your question,
yes.
I
would say we steer clear of California Adventure because that's kind of its own thing. But just strictly speaking, just Disneyland live action.
I would say Jungle Cruise, but that's coming.
Yeah. Which I'm not that excited for.
Me either. It looks like a remake of the Humphrey Bogart film that was in Africa. African Queen.
Okay.
The African Queen. Because The Rock almost looks like he's wearing the exact same outfit that Humphrey Bogart was wearing, and
it's on. Watched that movie and just made a remake of it.
It almost looks like it, because you also have it's him and John Krasinski's wife. I'm having issues with names today.
Podcast brain.
It really is that and lack of sleep brain. But yeah, and they look really similar. But originally I would have said that. I'm in my mind. I'm going through the park.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, you go down Main Street. Over there's Frontierland. You go in, walk into Frontierland.
Stop over for a churro.
Yeah. A nice Dole Whip. I want to see.
Tiki room?
I was just going to say.
Yeah?
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
As soon as I said Dole Whip, I'm like, Tiki Room.
Yeah.
What could they do with the Tiki Room? They could do like maybe an animated movie.
Right.
With all the birds.
Yeah. Similar to what they did with like the Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Right? But as far as live action, would that really...
live action would be tough.
You walk into the Tiki Room, you're trying to preserve the birds, turn it into more of like a environmentalist movie, right?
They could be rare talking birds or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Although, surprisingly enough, crows actually can talk better than parrots.
Really?
But they just choose not to. I know. I'm like a Snapple over here.
Okay. Crows sound a little arrogant.
Yeah.
I know crows were arrogant. So let's see. We got Splash Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Pirates. What about the Matterhorn? You might be able to do something with that, with the Abominable Snowman.
As long as they didn't go the direction that they did with, like, The Mummy.
Yeah.
You know, the fourth one.
Yeah.
That's kind of garbage. They did invoke the power of these Abominable Snowmen. No, if you made it... What if you made it like a horror movie? Like a legit, scary horror movie.
Like climbers that get stuck on this mountain, or, you know, they have to try and survive, also try and get away from this giant creature that's stalking them.
But then, like, you run the risk of doing...
Star Liam Neeson.
But you do run the risk a little bit of making it cheesy and going too CGI. You know, because you'd probably be, like, sliding down the mountain trying to get away from this creature.
Yeah, if it was made by Disney, yeah.
It would be trash.
It would...
It'd make it 3D as well.
Mm-hmm.
Snowballs flying at you.
Yeah.
No, but you get, like, somebody like Del Toro on this project. And...
Get Blumhouse on it.
Ooh, yeah. Make it a real horror movie. It's rated R.
Yeah. Disney's first rated R film.
Won't that be Deadpool?
It could, well, technically... Well, if you're going that route, then any film that was released by Miramax back in the day that was R would have been that, because Miramax was owned by Disney.
Right. But as far as, like, Disney...
Like, slapping...
Disney.
Yeah, like a Disney... Yeah. That then... Yeah. Yeah. Like, you could call it Expedition Matterhorn or something like that. Because there actually is a Matterhorn mountain.
Right.
I think it's in...
Switzerland?
Yeah, in Switzerland, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, perilous... Yeah. I don't know how perilous it is. But, I don't know. Anyway.
Let's get to This Week in Geek. Speaking of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
A new Haunted Mansion movie is on its way.
There we go.
Man, that's like one of the best segues.
It's almost like we did that on purpose.
Right? Disney is finally unearthing the 99 happy haunts for another big screen adaptation. The Hollywood reports that the Haunted House of Mouse has hired Katie Dippler to reimagine a new version of the story. She has worked on such projects and wrote for Parks and Rec. She also helped pen the new 2016 reboot of Ghostbusters.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
I'm like, I don't know if you'd really want to throw that on your IMDb.
Yeah.
Let's bury that. Is written for a couple of feature films. She also helped with the remake of Aladdin.
Okay.
This is to kind of push down Eddie Murphy's 2003 version a little bit.
Yeah.
There was also back in 2010, Del Toro had said, yeah, like, I'll do a Haunted Mansion movie, you know, and reimagine it. But that version never came to be.
Well, and Del Toro is a huge Haunted Mansion nerd.
Oh, yeah. All the lore. He loves it.
Yeah, he loves it. I mean, he's got, like, in his house, like, it's decked out in Haunted Mansion and stuff. Like, he has, like, original, like...
Pieces.
Like, pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he has, I think he might have, like, original, like, the cars that you get in. Like, I think he might have original one of those. Like, he's got a ton of stuff.
Yeah. I think if they went the direction of those, 5 Phantoms, you know, the skeletons, the Rollo Rumpkin, Uncle, Theroid, you know, cousin, whatever, you know, like those guys, Ned Nub. If they went that direction, it could be a little bit more interesting and also focused more on the ghosts and their story.
Yeah, I think if they set it back in, like, Victorian time.
Right.
The Haunted Mansion. And made it kind of creepy. Made the ghosts creepy. But at the same time, you know, drop little Easter eggs. Like, you could have the Hatbox Ghosts and the Hitchhiking Ghosts and, you know, that sort of thing. But if you make it like... Because in the story, basically, of the ride, there was a bride who was supposed to be married, but on her wedding day, she kills her husband.
Right.
And then I think she kills herself, if I'm not mistaken. And they both get trapped inside this mansion with all these other ghosts. And there's now 99. They need one more. That, you're the 100th ghost they need, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That right there, you can build a story on.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, they need one more spirit for everybody to be set free or, something like that.
Mm-hmm. But how do they, prevent that from happening?
Oh.
Right? No, I'm just throwing, you know what I mean? That's where your story is.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And, or you could even have it where the bride and the groom, you think they're going to survive the whole movie, but they end up dying at the very end. And then there's another couple or something that honeymoons at this place years later, or and that's where the movie ends, as soon as they walk in, or something like that. Okay. I think if you make it creepy, I think if you make, what was that movie that had Tom Hiddleston in it, and I think it was directed by Del Toro, that had the spirits, the ghosts in that house. What was that movie called? Did we see that movie together?
I don't know if we did. We might have. I want to say it's Crimson something Peak.
Crimson, yeah, I think that's what it was. Crimson Peak.
Yeah.
The ghosts in that movie were awesome.
Yeah, they were terrifying.
They looked really freaking cool. So if you had ghosts that look like that, then I think you could, yeah.
Yeah, Crimson Peak back in 2015.
Yeah. Not the greatest movie in the world, but the ghosts in that looked spectacular. They looked really cool.
Yes. Yeah, it kind of got weird with the whole blood baths and the snow being all red and
the incest,
artistic and the incest.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Incest ruins everything, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I'm going back and rewatching Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Because originally I watched season 1 and 2 and then kind of dropped off.
Okay.
When it originally was airing. But now I've gone back. I convinced the GF to watch it.
Right.
So we're kind of watching it kind of at the same time.
So she's already past season 2 as well? Or where
she
where
is
you guys
currently...
at?
I have a lot more free time than she does. She is currently in the middle of season 3.
Okay.
I am currently just at the very beginning of season 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so much lore and stuff that they just leave out and completely forget about.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to give any spoilers.
No, for sure not.
Because I know what happens.
Right.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of funny. So, I don't know how much of Game of Thrones you remember, but remember the guy who can change faces?
Yes.
You remember how he said to Arya...
God?
Yeah, the many-face god. He said to Arya to give him 3 names and he'd kill him?
Yeah.
I did the same thing with her. I said, give me 3 names and I'll tell you if they live or die.
Right.
In the series.
Okay.
And she's already given me 2. She's got 1 more.
So she's just does this person, especially a character that you become really invested in, you're does this person live or die? Okay.
She asked me about Arya.
Okay.
And she asked me about Khaleesi.
Oh, okay.
Daenerys.
Yeah.
So she has 1 name left.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh, ask about... No, just kidding.
Yeah. When she asked me about Daenerys, I was like, well... She does survive to the very last episode.
Yes.
So that's cryptic. So I just said, yeah, spoilers, she dies in the very last episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, weird little tangent there. So here's something that's doomed to fail.
Yes.
There's going to be a live-action remake of the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, geez.
And it's done by Greg Berlanti, the guy that's doing all the CW shows, superhero shows. And they're going to put it on there.
Wow.
On CW. This ain't going to work. I'm sorry.
No. Those characters, not many of them would really work live action.
Mm-mm.
A lot of the villains, like with Batman, they translate pretty well, right? It's a seamless, flip.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with,
Mojo
Jojo, or him, or the Gangrene Gang, or there was a group of gangsters that were literally like amoebas,
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do? And here's the other thing. The Powerpuff Girls are little girls, right?
Right.
Like in kindergarten. If it's going to be on the CW, they're going to sex them up.
Right.
And that's going to be weird. I don't want to see that.
No.
I don't want to see the Powerpuff Girls making out.
I can't believe I'm admitting this, but back in the day, so my mom used to work at the library, North Ogden branch, and I went there one time and hopped on you had to check into a computer and use it, and you could use it for a half an hour if it was just, if you're doing research, then you could have it for an hour, but otherwise it was just 30 minutes. And I can't remember how old I was, but I went there, and for whatever reason, I couldn't think of how to spell Powerpuff Girls. I don't know, I was drawing a blank, so I'm just I bet I could just type in PP Girls. the letter P, girls. Yeah.
You had to close that browser fast, didn't you?
I did. Well, okay, so, man, and I can't, for the life of me, it's been, 20 years, dude, but I can't, for the life of me, get that image out of my head. I still remember exactly what it looked like. It was horrible. I don't even want to go into detail, because this is a family show, but, yeah, it was awful. So I quickly, just turned off the screen, because I didn't know what the heck to do, and I couldn't find, because, pop-ups started happening all over, so I didn't know what to do, so I just turned off the screen, because there was other people around, they were obviously, looking at their stuff,
yeah,
and my brother was, because I wanted to play, the Powerpuff Girls. They had, a game that they came out with,
yeah,
where you're flying around in space, but it was only on Cartoon Network that you could get it, and I'm like, oh, that'd be so much fun to play this and try it out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I had turned it off, and then, I had to get my mom. I'm like, Mom, there's, I don't know what happened. I was just, going to this, this regular site, and I had to, play it off, this pop-up just happened. And she's like, well, and then she, pulled it up, and she's, trying to delete it, and, she figured it out and got it all taken care of. But I was, mortified. Yeah. That's when you, when you accidentally, order something on DirecTV.
Yeah.
But then your parents are like, wait, what?
Accidentally.
This purchase? What the heck? What were you even looking at? I was just looking through the channel.
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was my traumatic experience. And I don't think I used the computers there for a good while.
Yeah. Yeah, don't Google PP Girls.
No. Less learn from my mistakes.
Unless you're into that, whatever.
We don't judge here.
Yeah, we don't judge. Anyway.
Yeah, Powerpuff is doomed to fail. Although, if this does go really well, do you think they'll start doing a Dexter's Lab and they'll do a lot of other movies?
I hope not.
That just opens a whole can of worms, right?
I really hope not.
If people are like, oh yeah, this is way cool. I could see them doing a full-length Powerpuff Girls animated movie.
Sure.
I'd be cool with that.
Which they
whatever. Did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if they did a remake, whatever. They've done it with TMNT plenty of times. But no, live action. No.
That's not... No. Mm-mm. Not gonna work.
No.
Sorry. The Powerpuff Girls exist perfectly in that space, in that cartoon world. The way they look, the way they talk, the way they're drawn, everything. It does not lend itself to live action. It just doesn't.
No. Comics? Perfectly fine.
Sure.
Right? Speaking of other things that won't lend itself well to television, Resident Evil. Yeah. Resident Evil TV show is going to be set in Raccoon City and coming to Netflix. They've greenlit the project. And they're going to be focusing on because I know that not everybody's familiar with this, franchise, but the series is going to focus on, the villain Albert Wesker and his whole family. I feel like this does have potential, although the only problem is, if you've ever played any of the Resident Evil games, they're very strict and they've got specific dialogue and they're kind of like by the numbers cops, right? They're not really, I mean, they have some heart to them, but it just won't translate well, and they're not going to focus on the zombies, they're going to focus on other things.
Yeah, and also look what happened with the movies.
Yeah.
They died.
You're only going to piss off a huge fan base because they're making an 8th game, right?
Yeah, right.
And anytime they've tried to do this, it wouldn't be so bad if you had a single standalone game that then they tried to adapt. Even 2, with The Last of Us, that has a little bit more potential. But a series, this would be like saying, hey, Final Fantasy fans, we're going to make a television show of Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to piss off a lot of people. And it's kind of doomed to fail.
Yeah. Because people are going to think Resident Evil. They're going to think the movies. They're going to think the video games. Then you're going to go back to think about the movies, those movies sucked.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't going to work. And then they're not going to watch.
No.
Are you going to watch? As a Resident Evil fan?
For the sake of the podcast, perhaps, but probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, not really.
Yeah. I have the perfect house for you.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, want to hear about it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, the price is $890,000.
Okay,
That's
all right.
pretty
well
pricey.
Within the budget.
Yeah, It's chump change. It has 7 beds, 3.5 baths, and there are 3,935 square feet. Okay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a big home.
Yes.
It's a big home. The address is 306 French Street, Fall River, Massachusetts.
Okay.
There is one little catch, though.
Yeah.
This was the former residence of Lizzie Borden.
Oh. Okay.
Famous murderess.
That's
accused.
A slight caveat.
Yeah, alleged.
Yes.
Murderer. But yeah, her house that she lived in until she died. After she brutally killed her parents with an axe.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Whacked them, 40 times?
That's what the rhyme says, but it was actually... it was either significantly less or significantly more.
Okay.
I don't remember which.
We're playing the over-under game.
Yeah. I think it was significantly less. Once you whack somebody in the head with an axe 2-3 times,
no.
There's no need to go the other 37.
Right.
You're pretty much you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally up for sale if you wanna buy it.
I think I'll make them an offer.
With just under 4,000 square feet of history, a few features you will enjoy are 6 fireplaces,
Oh, wow.
7 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 10 ceilings in the kitchen, coffered ceilings, whatever that means, walnut wainscoting, inlaid parquet floors, stained glass, and exquisite mantelpieces that some say hold a hidden meaning. The residency itself is called Maplecroft.
Oh, wow. Welcome to Maplecroft.
Welcome to Maplecroft.
Dude, I would totally buy this house just so that I could, like, offer tours.
Yeah,
Right?
totally.
You could make your money back easily. $10 a pop. Go through it. Have a gift shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Offer, like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Offer people this opportunity to stay there once in a while.
Yeah.
Like once a month.
On the down season, when tourism is down.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, care to stay here?
It's a nice house. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
You look at pictures of it, it's a nice house.
Did they use that house, or just a replica of it in the new... Didn't they recently make a movie?
Oh, there have been several movies made. And if they ever make another one, they should call it Maplecroft.
Yes. And, people wouldn't know what it really was until they started seeing the movie.
Yeah, it's...
No. 'Cause, here's what you'd have to do, is you would release the movie, call it Maplecroft, and then a couple weeks in, you'd be like, oh, people don't know what this movie is. We should say Lizzie Borden, Maplecroft.
Right.
To get more sales. Shots fired, birds of prey. Take that.
Yeah, I mean, you can poop in the same toilet that Lizzie Borden did and all that good stuff. I'm sure it's been, renovated and there's probably nothing original that's in the house. But if you want,
If you so desire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a remake in 2017. Nah, didn't do that well. Not at all.
Yeah, I think people are a little tired of the Lizzie Borden story.
Right.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah. They really hacked that story to death.
They have, yeah. They've just
really butchered it.
Yeah, just beat it to death. Just really murdered it.
Yeah. Here's an interesting story for you. Sony opens registration for the initial PS5 pre-orders. They're allowing people, you can pre-order your console now. They've yet to say a price, though. But you can pre-order it, and it's only one per household. This is to limit people from just buying, a whole slew of them and selling them for, outrageous prices.
Right.
Which is kind of smart on their part, but it already seems like they don't have enough consoles and they won't have enough coming out this holiday season, right?
Yeah.
One other gripe and issue that I have with this is it's going to be, it's not even going to be a 1 terabyte PS5, which I'm with some of the games that they're coming out with, especially Red Dead Redemption 5 and Modern Warfare, you need a lot of space if you're gonna, they're trying to go the digital route, but it seems like they're not really, because they want to keep it at a certain price point.
Right.
They're running into, issues there. They're packing so much hardware, but they also want to keep it at an affordable price. I'm honestly not going to pre-order one and let them get the bugs out. Perhaps they'll be offering a slim version. I'll wait a year. Honestly, I'll just, because I'm perfectly fine with playing my PS4 still.
Yeah.
Wait a year and then see if it is also backwards compatible, the PS3, PS4, and 5.
And then once the PS5 comes out, the PS4 is going to go down in price, and then I'll buy a PS4 again.
Oh, yeah.
Have that. Play it for a year or two and wait for PS5 to, like you said, iron out all the kinks.
Yeah.
And then go buy a PS5. sell my PS4.
Once you actually get like once there's like a collection of good movies or good games. They are going to initially release some pretty cool games, which I'm pretty stoked for, and they've shown teaser trailers for, but those aren't going to be available at launch.
Right. What was the first video game console you remember buying yourself that you actually went out and purchased?
PS3.
Really?
The PS3, Uncharted, yeah.
Okay. Mine was the PS2.
Okay.
When I was working at the Point Theater for the first time. I took like pretty much my entire paycheck.
Yeah.
And went and bought a PS2.
First game that you got with it?
I want to say it was Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Okay.
Or one of the Hitman games.
I played like Lord of the Rings. Like I played that one so much on the Cube. Like my brothers and I, we purchased a GameCube together.
Yeah.
But as far as like consoles I bought my own, I've only purchased I've since gone back and bought a Cube. Actually, was it a Wii? Yeah, no, it was the Wii. That was the first one that I bought.
Okay.
Like myself. And then PS3, and then a PS4, and then a GameCube.
Right.
I want to play some of those games.
Sure. Yeah.
Even though I could have played my GameCube games on the Wii. I don't know. There's something about playing like on a GameCube.
Yes, no, I agree. As there's one sitting right there.
Oh man.
Got the standard purple.
Oh, same.
Yep. Okay. So this is kind of a list, not really a list, but with everything that's been going on, so many movies, TV shows, and everything have been delayed that everything's kind of been backed up.
Yes.
Well, as of right now, there are 24 movies and TV shows from the Marvel Universe scheduled to come out.
Wow.
Now, this is the Marvelverse plus the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Right.
Both of them. So it's going to start with Black Widow in November, which I'm excited for. I think
Are we going to, like, I mean, we're probably going to see them all, but are we able to do something with this? Like with you reading them off? Like, yay or nay?
Yeah. I think it mentions them all. So we got Black Widow.
Yes.
We have WandaVision the month after, which I think is going to be on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of looking forward to because, I don't know, it looks like Wanda's kind of created her own reality for herself, and looks like they're spoofing a lot of like old TV shows, and it looks kind of interesting. So then in 2021, Marvel's going to release The Eternals.
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
That one looks awesome.
Yep. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And Spider-Man 3 into theaters.
Okay.
So we're going to have 3 films. While Loki and What If head straight to streaming, and Sony finally gets around to unveiling Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and Morbius.
I'm really looking forward to Morbius. I think it's got potential.
I completely forgot about that film, because I remember seeing previews for it like before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And thinking, that doesn't look too bad. It looks all right.
Right.
And then I completely forgot about it.
I'd actually forgotten about WandaVision.
Yeah. Then the following year, the MCU launches Thor: Love and Thunder. I think this is 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Thor: Love and Thunder, which I'm still not crazy about that name.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Captain Marvel.
Amazing.
Yes. Captain Marvel 2. And Black Panther 2.
Okay. Out of those ones, Doctor Strange and Black Panther.
I'm looking forward to all of them.
Yes.
Honestly. Probably the one I'm most looking forward to is probably Doctor Strange.
Same.
Because I'm looking forward to what they do, not just with that character, but going into the multiverse, and I think that's going to be really cool.
That's going to take the MCU in a completely different direction.
Yep. Maybe introduce Fantastic Four, maybe introduce the X-Men. Who knows? It could happen. And then on Disney Plus, you're going to have Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk.
Okay. Pending a pandemic.
Right. Sony doesn't have any comic book adaptations penciled for 2022, but there are talks for people to direct Kraven the Hunter, and Olivia Wilde has reportedly signed on for Spider-Woman. So both of those could potentially come out that year.
Will they call it Spider-Woman, or are they going with, like, Gwen?
Well, Spider-Woman and Gwen are two different characters.
Correct, I know. Yeah. But I feel like Gwen has a lot more potential. I'm just saying.
Well, I think the way it's looking, Spider-Gwen may be stuck in the animated versions.
Yeah.
I think that might be where they throw her, and then Spider-Woman TV, and eventually maybe move her up into
film.
I don't know. I don't know. No, Spider-Woman's gonna be a movie. Never mind. I was thinking the Disney Plus stuff. And then finally, we still got The Falcon and Winter Soldier to come out.
Yes.
Ant-Man 3, Blade, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and Deadpool 3 are all in the works.
Wow.
So at least up until 2022, 23, still got a lot of Marvel stuff to get through.
Yes.
Which I'm totally fine with. Keep it coming.
Exactly.
I will be an 87-year-old man with my walker going into the theater to watch Spider-Man 18, Spider-Man and the Dead... I was going to make a really good joke about him in a retirement home, but it fell apart.
Dang.
Sorry.
I like how DC hasn't really announced much.
Yeah.
I think they'll just kind of sprinkle them in there. They found their niche and what they can do.
DC's looking better and better. They really are.
They're true.
It seems like they're starting to turn that corner and being like, okay, I think we're kind of gaining an audience here. We're kind of finding our footing.
Mm-hmm. But MCU, they've got a plan.
Yeah.
They're on a mission.
Oh, you know the MCU.
Global domination.
Well, they do have the highest grossing film of all time. And you know the MCU has been planned out for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it has.
Oh, for sure.
Like...
I would love to be in those meetings.
Oh, me too.
Just to hear what's like in the works. And what direction they're going to go with things, you know?
Like with Pixar, when the Pixar guys first sat down and started coming up with concepts, they came up, even before any movies come out, they came up with Toy Story, Cars, WALL-E, all those movies. Yeah. They came up with before anything came out. They had it all mapped out. Monsters, Inc.
That's crazy.
All of it.
And because then they could sprinkle in little, like, Easter eggs, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, we're going to tease this. Nobody's going to know about this little, like, Finding Nemo toy.
Yeah.
Man. People with a plan.
Okay. Let's get to our Revs and Recs. We only have one review this week, and it's the movie Unhinged. We actually went out to the world, saw a movie,
and it wasn't that bad. Like the experience.
Yes.
Not necessarily the movie.
Oh, you know what? I have another review. I just remembered. I was going to do one last week and didn't. I'll do it this week.
Do you want to go ahead and throw that one in first?
Let's do that.
All right.
The Silencing.
Yes.
Now, I know this sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan film.
I was thinking more of like The Silencing of the Lambs.
Right. But no, this is a movie that I never even heard about. But I was looking for something to watch. I was scrolling through and like, Silencing, what the heck is that? And
looks like it has a great cast.
Yeah. So I went down and watched it, and basically, this is the story of a dad who 5 years prior, lost his daughter. His daughter was kidnapped, never found her, and so he's become this alcoholic recluse where he owns this game preserve in some northwestern state. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway. And all of a sudden, what happens is in the town that he's in, these girls start going missing. And he sees something, like he sees this happen because he has cameras set up in the forest so he can catch like poachers, hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
And he sees this girl running on one of the screens, and he sees this guy dressed in I don't know what you call it because I'm not a hunter, but like it looks like a grass suit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were to lay down, it looked like just a big pile of grass or weeds or whatever. And yeah, and it looks like this person is hunting this girl, so he goes out and finds her, and stuff happens, and which leads to the plot. So anyway, and that may lead to finding out what happened to his daughter. Anyway, this movie stars, speaking of Game of Thrones and incest, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, our best buddy from Comic-Con, who absolutely refused to talk to us, scoffed. I would even say he scoffed at us.
Yeah. He looked over at us, and like wasn't this like our first year?
Yeah.
So we didn't really have like the best gear.
Yeah.
But we had our press passes, damn it, and we talked to the handler, but like he kind of pushed the handler aside and said no.
No, not just no. He looks us up and down and goes, no. He said, just like...
Yeah. You have been weighed, you have been judged, and you have been found wanting. And it just bugged me. Well, go fuck your sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said it.
All right. We're getting PG-13 up in here. Yeah, so it stars him. Nobody else really of note. He's probably the biggest star in there. And it's kind of fun. I was telling you last week, like, you know how I love a good poker film, right?
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter, you know, if it's not the plot, like, if there's poker being played in the movie, I really like that. Well, it turns out there's another one I really like, which is a cat and mouse a chase scene through the woods.
Okay.
At night. I like that. I enjoy that. Like in that movie Insomnia with Robin Williams and Al Pacino. Like, I like a movie that's set in the woods. I don't know. Anyway. The story is fairly predictable. Like, halfway through, when all the characters have been introduced, I'm like, oh, he's the killer.
Yeah.
And I was right. It gets pretty obvious who the killer is, but it's kind of it's a murder mystery, but they try to make it somewhat original, at least with the weapon The weapon is an atlatl. Ever heard of that?
Sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
I can't place what it is.
So basically, it's like a precursor to the bow and arrow, where you have this long wooden
Oh, yeah.
thing,
Like,
and you put an arrow in it,
and then you flick it.
fling it.
Yeah.
And so that's the weapon that he's using.
It not only like utilizes like your whole length of your arm to throw it, then you've got a couple of feet, on top of that. When you're throwing it, it comes at you pretty quick.
Oh yeah, like I think they said 100 plus miles an hour that thing's coming at you.
Oh, I believe it. If they can, you've got these people that are able to hit tennis balls at 120 something miles an hour. Same thing.
Yeah.
They're coming at you fast.
And so they try to make it like, it's a little different of a, murder weapon, but anyway. Yeah, but at the same time, there's a lot of cliches in it. Like he plays, he's a drunk and he's divorced from his wife now because of their daughter's kidnapping, and he just won't give up on the case, and he always puts flyers up everywhere, and his wife is saying, let it go, we have to let it go, she's gone, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so overall, out of 5 atlatls, just because I like to say atlatl, I'm giving it 1.5.
Okay.
Honestly. Because,
it does seem like...
I'll say this. I'm giving it the half just because I was able to...
in the woods?
Well, that, and I was able to go into a theater and watch it, and I've missed that. So that's the only reason. Anyway, as you were saying.
It seems like it's going to be a minute before we get some of these big blockbusters back in theaters.
I think Wonder Woman will be the first.
Yeah. You don't think Bill and Ted?
Because they also released it online.
Right.
You can buy it online and stream it.
You won't see the numbers?
Yeah, but Wonder Woman, it's not going online. It's going straight into theaters and that's it.
Yeah.
I believe. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I think that'll be the first kind of big one. And then we have Black Widow the next month. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but...
Okay.
It'll be a while before, theaters are packed again and, movies are making $1 billion. Like, that ain't gonna happen for a long time.
No. I'm trying to think of what movie might actually have the potential to hit $1 billion.
It's gonna be a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Whatever movie happens after we get a vaccine and everything just reopens, whatever movie, big one that comes out then, it's gonna make $1 billion.
Oh, really?
Because people are so tired of being quarantined with their families. They just want to go out and do something.
Yeah.
That movie makes $1 billion.
$1 billion plus?
Yep. That's my prediction. Whatever movie that is.
All right.
It'll be Marvel. It'll be a superhero film. And it makes $1 billion.
So, a movie that didn't make $1 billion, Unhinged. I think it made $30 million. I don't even think it made its budget back.
Well, that's kind of going to be, the par for the course right now. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Unhinged. A road-raged Russell Crowe takes it out on a woman and her son.
I heard a reviewer call him, I think they call him Maximum Maurelius or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Maximum Decimus Maurelius.
The dude put on some weight for this role.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
He's got to be pushing 300.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he would try to sit in that booth. Yeah. It was a snug fit.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Russell, what are you doing, man? Like, because he's been kind of ballooning up as the years have gone on.
Yeah.
But he's gone full out.
Well, he definitely used his weight in this movie.
Oh, he did.
Threw it around.
He definitely threw his weight around, yes.
And it was actually... Okay, so in a nutshell, and I don't even care if I spoil anything at all, he kills his cheating wife and her lover right in the beginning. And
with an axe, right?
Yes.
Speaking of Lizzie Borden.
Right. Then he's sitting in traffic. They've already got reports saying, like, hey, this is the vehicle that he'd be on the lookout for. And this other woman that she's having kind of a bad day. You know, she's late to the office, late to dropping off her kid. And it's kind of her own fault.
Mm-hmm.
But
it is. Can't find her candy cane scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's sitting at a light behind Russell Crowe or Tom Copper, and he's kind of spacing out for a moment. She lays on the horn and lets him have it, whips around him.
Doesn't give him the quote courtesy honk, the beep beep.
Yeah.
Let you know like she lays on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's next to her in traffic again because it's really bad and it's, California for you. And they exchange this dialogue where he's just like, you haven't seen what a bad day is, And to me, in my mind, I'm like, this has so much potential. It's going to be like The Killing Joke. He's
one bad day.
Yeah, one bad day kind of a theme. And I'm like, this is perfect. Like, this has so much potential. But I also thought it was like so stupid of her to argue between the kid and have the kid in the middle. Right?
She makes a lot of dumb decisions.
She makes so many. And like the kid can't even roll up his window, which the kid, what's his name? Gabriel Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Child's Play, Lights Out.
Okay.
Think Like a Dog. He's been in like a ton of Benji.
I knew
Annabelle.
That kid looked familiar.
Yeah. He's been in a ton of different movies. But this was, he was he's been in better movies and he's acted better, but other than Russell Crowe, nobody could act.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because I even liked Jimmy Simpson. I liked him in Westworld. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yes.
But in this movie,
he's very vanilla.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, don't get us wrong. Russell Crowe in this is great, and he's terrifying.
Yes. They utilize him like Jaws, and I love that aspect because you don't know where he's at.
Right.
But it was just, they were holding your hand the entire time.
The whole time.
Yeah. Like, oh, do you mean that he can track us? Like, where is it? We need to find this tablet. You know? Oh, it's taped to the bottom of the seat. Oh, I can't find my phone. Does he have it? I need my scissors. Has anybody seen my scissors?
I need my candy cane scissors for some reason.
And then, as soon as she gets them, she just puts them in her pocket and forgets about them. She needed them so badly, but then she forgets about them.
Yeah, that won't come back later.
No.
Yeah, and then with the kid talking about his Fortnite strategy, they're gonna do that strategy with this guy, aren't they? And sure enough.
But not even just that, because then she said, "Hey, let's use that Fortnite strategy."
Yeah.
She even not even enough. It wouldn't have been so bad if she would have said "Oh yeah, your uncle, you guys are doing a Fortnite strategy. That's kind of cool," and then leave it at that and let us go. Oh, they utilized the Fortnite strategy. But no, she has to say hey, let's go to somewhere familiar. You hide here, and then, I'll golf cart his ass.
Yeah. Let's go to this winding familiar neighborhood that we talked about earlier in the movie, because for some reason we put our grandmother in a home, and she was on FaceTime with the grandson, and oh my gosh.
You don't need to, take a movie like Get Out. They didn't hold your hand. They let you figure it out. They let you piece it together. And then, it's a movie that you want to watch again because you're there were so many hints. There were so many clues. They were telling us everything, except for one piece was left out.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. But this one, where they're just holding your hand the entire time, it got old pretty quick.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Much like Russell Crowe, it got old and bloated really quick.
Yeah. Which, up until, like, even after she killed the brother, or the friend, I guess it was the potential lover, she didn't really, like, say.
Yeah.
Even up until that point, I was still cheering for Russell Crowe. Like, I found myself being like, man, that bitch, she needs to be, like, put down or something.
She wasn't pleasant as a protagonist.
No, not at all. There was nothing endearing about her. You've got these movies like where you have a killer that's on the loose that you're cheering for the person to survive, like Halloween, for instance, right?
Yeah.
You're not cheering for Michael Myers.
No.
You're cheering, you know.
I mean, I kind of was in later films, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least not in the first one. He's kind of this threat, and
Yeah.
you're running away from him to survive.
Right.
This one, I'm just like, I don't like her. I don't really care if she survives.
Yeah,
but there's
me
not
neither.
many people. I mean, she's just running away, and like people are being killed in her wake.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I tried to think on this one, and like we even talked about the movie like right after watching it, and what we'd give the score. And I'm thinking in my head, well, maybe like, you know, that'll kind of change. I'll like mull it over a little bit, think about it. No. If anything, I'm at a 1. I like. Out of, like, hammers, yeah, I'm at a 1. I was at a 1.5 because it was in a theater, and it's cool to be back in a theater, but no, like, not even that could redeem it.
Yeah, I'm at a 1, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, though, I think with Russell Crowe putting on that much weight, I think it kind of works for that character. Yeah. Like, if he was, you know, as built and stuff as he was like back in Gladiator, he's like, oh, this woman's doomed. Yeah, like, there's no way this woman's gonna survive.
Right.
But he's this big fat schlubby dude. Mm-hmm. You're like, well, maybe she could at least outrun the dude, outrun the guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can outrun Tom Cooper, you ain't outrunning Maximus. Yeah.
I just pulled up a picture of him.
Yeah, that's all Crowe right there. That's 300 pounds of Crowe.
I really feel like he should do another scary movie like this. Like, yeah, he's actually a good villain.
He is
menacing. I feel like with this other one, like if he were to do another one, like let's see him in a mobster movie where he's the main dude.
Ooh, he'd be good at that.
Right? He's kind of this big plantation chillin' kind of a dude, and he just kills people that disobey like what he says to do.
Yeah, let's make a 1930s gangster film that's set in the South.
Yes. And
have, yeah, like you're saying, have Russell Crowe be like the Southern plantation guy who sits there in his rocking chair
that straight
on
up
the porch.
Pokes a dude's eyes out with his bare hands.
Yeah.
You know, after just like, okay, so he's devouring this chicken, right? And he's eating that. And then like, he doesn't even like wash his hands and stuff as he's like having this dialogue with these people. He's just like ripping into this chicken. And all of a sudden he just like grabs this dude by the face and just like sticks his thumbs right in the dude's eyes, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be horrible. But like at the same time, I'd be like, man, that's a scene right there.
And then just goes back to eating his chicken.
Yeah.
With his bloody hands.
Right. Doesn't even faze him.
Oof. I like it. I'm sitting there drinking his sweet tea.
Yeah. That mama made.
Yep. I can see it.
Right?
I can see it in my head, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's already got, like, chicken. Like, he doesn't even wash his hands. He's kind of similar to, in Batman the Animated Series, that one big, huge schlob guy. Mm-hmm. What is his... I can't even think of his name.
We've talked about that episode before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone similar to him, right?
Yeah. Like, he's wearing, like, maybe a
white suit.
A white suit.
Yeah.
With the pants, like, pulled all the way up to his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way you're going to get around his massive gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got the big old beard and... Yeah.
Man. That's a movie right there. We come up with like all these ideas all the time, dude.
We need to talk about the family. We have family business we need to discuss.
There's a fly in the pie.
There's a fly in the ointment that needs to be discharged.
It needs to be dealt with.
And I want you to deal with it. And he goes back to eating his chicken.
Yeah.
I like it. And they call him like, it'd have to be like Mr. something. Like Mr. Stevens or
Mr. Crowe.
Mr. Crowe.
Huh?
Mm,
2 on the nose?
a little bit. 2 on the beak. Okay. Let's wrap this up. So, I don't know what's happening with our email, but I cannot access it.
Really?
Yeah. I've tried resetting the password, and I can't get into it. I can't get into our email. So
Here we've got 3 million emails from people.
yeah, and we can't get into it.
Yeah, saying how much they love the podcast and all these nerdy questions that they have.
Yeah. So until we do, I'm just going to give you my personal email.
Yeah.
And just send it to that.
Okay.
Okay. But here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're on iTunes, Google Play, CosmicPotato.com, CosmicPotatoNetwork.com. I always get that wrong. And wherever your fine podcasts are casting. On social media, we're at Facebook.com/WorldWarGPodcast and WorldWarGPodcast 2. You can find all of our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/WorldWarG. The GF loves her hoodie.
Sweet.
You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At troywood765@gmail.com. And it'll be that for the time being. You can also call or text the show at any time at 385-240-1692. So, this has been World War G episode 282. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends. Continue to wash your hands. Continue to wear the mask. And continue not to be a racist dick.
Wakanda forever.
Nice.